transfer button for exactly 3 seconds before I closed the laptop and poured another drink. At 6 in the morning, my doorbell started ringing. I opened it to find my father standing there, unshaven and wild-eyed, still in the clothes he'd worn yesterday. "Marcus, please," he said, his voice cracking. "I know we haven't always been fair to you, but Derek is your brother. He needs you." I looked at this man who'd spent my entire childhood comparing me unfavorably to Derek, who'd missed my college graduation because it conflicted with Derek's birthday party, who told me last Christmas that my success was just luck, while Derek's failures were bad timing. "Dad," I said calmly, "Derek texted me yesterday afternoon. Would you like to know what it said?" My father's face went pale. He knew. Of course he knew. They all knew how Derek treated me. They just never cared enough to stop it. It said he hoped I'd die alone. Those were the last words your golden child said to me before his accident. And now you want me to save his life? My father's hands were shaking. He didn't mean it, Marcus. You know how Derek is. He's stressed. He's been going through things. I held up my hand to stop him. He's been going through things for 5 years, Dad, and every single time you've excused it. Every time he's cruel to me, you tell me to understand. Every time I ask for help, you tell me to grow up. Well, I grew up, and I learned that family is supposed to be there for each other. But this family was only there for Derek. The revenge story I was about to unleash had been years in the making, though I hadn't consciously planned it. Every ignored cry for help, every dismissive comment, every family event where I was treated like an obligation rather than a son, had been building to this moment. My father stumbled backward, his face crumbling. "So you're just going to let him die? Your own brother?" I smiled, and it wasn't a nice smile. "I'm going to do exactly what you taught me to do, Dad. I'm going to figure it out like an adult. Derek's an adult too. I'm sure he'll manage." I closed the door in my father's face and listened to him sob on my doorstep for 20 minutes before he finally left. My phone had 48 missed calls now. My mother had sent me a text. "How can you be so heartless? What kind of monster refuses to help his own family?" I screenshot it and added it to my collection. What kind of monster indeed. By noon, the situation had escalated in ways I hadn't anticipated. My mother had posted on Facebook about having an ungrateful, selfish son who was letting his brother die. She hadn't named me, but she'd tagged enough family members that everyone knew who she meant. My aunt, my cousins, people I hadn't spoken to in years, were all commenting about what a terrible person I was. My uncle called me directly and screamed at me for 15 minutes about family obligation. I listened to the whole thing without saying a word, then added his number to my block list. What none of them knew was that I'd already made some calls of my own. I'd contacted 3 of my mother's sisters, the ones who'd always been kind to me, the ones who'd noticed how differently I was treated. I'd sent them screenshots of Derek's messages, recordings of family dinners, every piece of evidence I'd collected. By 3 in the afternoon, my mother's Facebook post had been deleted, and she posted a new one apologizing for speaking in anger during a difficult time. My Aunt Rebecca had apparently called her and threatened to share the truth about how they'd been treating me with the entire extended family. But I wasn't done. This toxic family had spent years making me feel worthless, and now they were about to learn that their pathetic loser son had more power than they'd ever imagined. I made one more call, this one to my cousin James, who worked in medical billing at Seattle General. "Hey James," I said casually, "I need some information about a patient." What I discovered made my blood run cold and my resolve turned to steel. Derek's hospital bill wasn't $15,000. It was $8,000. My parents had inflated the number by $7,000, probably planning to pocket the difference or pay off their own debts. They'd been planning to scam me even in their moment of desperation, even when they were supposedly begging for their son's life. This family betrayal went deeper than I'd thought possible. I called my lawyer, Tom Richardson, at 8 in the morning. "Tom, I need you to do something for me." His voice was alert despite the early hour. "What do you need? Marcus?" I explained what I discovered about the inflated hospital bill. Tom was silent for a moment. "That's fraud, Marcus. They tried to scam you for $7,000 while begging you to save your brother's life." "I know. I want every text message, every voicemail.